Okay, do you guys see recording?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm not near as fancy as Miss Nicole is here, but I love vendor events, so I'm really excited to do this. Okay, let's see. Share my screen. Tell me if you can you see that? Okay. Okay, vendor events. If you guys have a question, just unmute yourself because I can't see all of you very well, so just unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background, I joined last summer and I was really nervous to do vendor events. It kind of freaked me out, like getting in front of people, and I don't know, I felt like maybe I wasn't quite ready to start that. Like I didn't know if I had enough knowledge about the books. It seemed like a lot to do. Well, I decided there was one the end of October that I was going to sign up for, and one of my girlfriends that does LuLaRoe just happened to ask me because she was doing the event, and it was a smaller event, and I did it, and I'm so glad I did. It wasn't, of course, like the absolute best event ever. I didn't get tons of sales, but it was an awesome learning experience, and I did get some sales, and just from that event, I kind of built off of it, and I got 2 other events from that one. So anyway, so this is just how to find vendor events. I think everybody kind of has their area they're more comfortable with. I still do parties sometimes, but like on Facebook, but I'm like a total vendor event junkie now. I think I'm like sucked into this world or something. So I've just started like trying to find more than I used to, but some ways that you could find them, Chamber of Commerce will always have a list of events going on because usually it always has to go through the chamber. Direct sales friends, I think that's like, for me anyways, that's my #1 way that I've been able to find out about them is through other friends that do direct sales, and they kind of let me know if there's something that they're doing too. Facebook groups, there's lots of different Facebook groups in your area that have when vendor events are happening, and also there's companies that are looking for vendors to like fill up the events that they're working. I've never done this one, but it's called Eventbrite, and I think a lot of people do it. I mean, I'm in a big city, but I almost said bigger city, but I'm in a big city. Anyway, Eventbrite, but it's all different things happening in your area. Like you can search different areas and it will tell you. But then again, word of mouth is always, with everything, a great way to find out about things. Not that you need to go up to people and like constantly, you know, hey, did you know I'm a consultant for Usborne Books? But just how you have a conversation with people, it's easy to, especially when you guys both have kids, to bring up something about books. I mean, because that's easy, right? I think that's, so then if they have it, like an idea that you are with Usborne Books, and they'll think about you, and you'll find out about a lot more things than you probably realize. Okay, getting all your ducks in a row. Caden picked out this graphic for me. Okay, first is booth policies, your inventory, different costs to do an event, and a checklist. Okay, first of all, with booth policies, I think sometimes after we first get started, it feels like there's so much information to go over, and you don't have to go over all that information, of course, right, whenever you start. But just like with booth policies, I never looked at booth policies until I was going to do a booth. So some of it you kind of learn as you go, but definitely do some research and you'll find out a lot. But our booth policy is you have to either have a minimum of $500 in sales in 3 months prior to the event you're doing, or if you're in your incentive period. And then if you contact an organization or they contact you, the very first thing that you need to find out is if there is another UBAM consultant that's doing the event. If there is, then that's it. There can't be two. So, and you also need to find out if they say there's not, if there's been someone in the past that has done that event, then that's technically their event unless they pass on it. But if they have 30 days before the day of the event to sign up to do it, and if they haven't, then you can take over it. But it's just a courtesy. I would try to get their name and try to find out from them. You don't want people stealing your events that you claim or whatever, and you don't want to do that to other people either. So that's booth policies. And that was in, if you check out your consultant toolbox, there's lots of really good information in there. Okay, your spread. People do this all different ways. I've always used my personal inventory. I've usually gotten all of my inventory from like my VIP sales. I'll use my rewards and I'll buy inventory that way. I have so many books, it's kind of embarrassing, but you guys will get it right. Okay, and then some people take out consignment, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then another thing is just if you have just started, and some people are hesitant to do a booth because they don't have very many books yet. But there have been people that have used their kits to do it, and you do more orders. But then also just borrowing from your friends. Like I know that there are, but on our team, there's not people like in my town that do Usborne. Lori does Usborne, but she's kind of far away. But I think it would be so fun to do an event with some other Usborne buddies, and you can split the event, the cost, and then all the sales, but you can also use both of your, like the inventory that you have. Okay, let's see. Next, I just wanted to dive in a little bit to consignment and book fairs. I think a lot of people get excited about consignment at first, which it can be great, but I've never done consignment. I haven't done a huge booth, so really there's not a reason for me to do that yet. One day I would love to do a huge booth, but not there yet. Okay, so with consignment, first of all, you have to have, it's a $500 minimum, so that's quite a bit of books. But there are, like you have to have been with Usborne for at least 3 months to even be able to get consignment. And then as you see on the slide, it's like 3 to 5 months, your max is $1,000. And then whenever you get up to a year, it's a $2,000 max. With consignment, it must be closed within 30 days of your event. And there are people I know that have been able to get extensions, but they do want you to pay all of that money back eventually. So it's kind of a little bit of a gamble, but if you know you're doing a really big event, or if you have even a couple events scheduled right after one another, then it might be a good thing for you to do. I just haven't been in the situation to do it yet. So and then book fairs, you could also do it in the way of doing it as a book fair. And so with a book fair, as you probably know, the total retail sales are a minimum of $250, and then you get 50% in free books, but you also only get 17% in commission if you do it as a book fair. So those are some ways to get your inventory. Okay, upfront costs of doing a booth. I haven't done, there are so many things that you can use, like tablecloths from Usborne. We have really nice tablecloths, and like the banners and the table runners and stuff, and they are very nice. I haven't gotten all of those yet. I just have done kind of the bare minimum, but it's worked really well for me. So the things I have gotten, and some things that you can get, like bins. if you've seen pictures of events, then you'll notice that people have, like I think I got these at Office Depot, and it's the stackable bins, and it kind of adds height to your table, and it honestly makes it really nice to transport your stuff around. And they're purple, so I thought they were cute. They're only like $5 each, so that's not a big deal at all. Another thing is tablecloths. I have used this sounds really tacky, but I promise it looked fine. But it's just, I've always used from like Dollar Tree. They have purple tablecloths, and I usually don't save those. I just use them and then throw them away. But they look really cute, they're fun, they're bright, and they work really well. They're cheap. I'm all about cheap. So, and then I always think it's important to have fun little things for the kids on your table. So like stickers or bookmarks, I always have those. And I have like colorful, like they're polka dot pencils and UBAM colors. I did like, I didn't take a picture of this, but I got like, again from Dollar Tree, really cute bright slinkies, and I put my business card like circled around the slinky. It looks really cute, it's fun, but like some kids, I have a bunch of extra slinkies. It's like 2 for $1, and some kids got those. So it's just a fun way, like something different for the kids. Just have to make sure you hide them from your kids, because my boys steal all of my fun stuff. And then like, however you want to do your payments at your booth. I already had, it's just PayPal that I plug into my phone or iPad or whatever, and people swipe their card and it goes straight to my PayPal. We had that before I joined Usborne, so that's just what I already use, but a lot of people use Square. Some people don't use credit card at all. They just write down their number, or they use cash and carry. I take cash too, but most of the time people use card. So, but something really important that I wish I would have been so much better about is keep every single receipt that you have that you buy anything with. It doesn't matter if it was at Dollar Tree for 2 tablecloths. Like that stuff will add up over time, and you can use that on your taxes. So, anyway, those are some of the things that I have bought up front, so it's not really that much. And then I do have a picture, like, I don't only shop at Dollar Tree, but like these flashlights were at Dollar Tree, and they're $1, and they're really cute and bright colors. I think they're fun, and I always, if anyone buys a Shine a Light book from me, then I give them it comes with a flashlight, and that's the same for just my friends that buy a Shine a Light book for me out of my house, then I give them a flashlight too. This isn't like a cost, but this is kind of what I use to have people fill out at the booth. I just have them do their name, email, phone number, and then it's, would you like to be added to my Facebook group? Are you interested in hosting a party? And then would you like information on becoming a consultant? I'll talk more about this in a little bit, but always, always, always have somebody fill these out by doing like a drawing. People most likely are not going to fill one of these out just for fun. I mean, they might, but if it's for a drawing, that's a way to do a drawing and get people's information too. So, okay. Next is the checklist. And this checklist is thanks to Ms. Bianca. She added this to our S'mores page. And I don't use all of this stuff, but I use most of it, and I added a couple of things too. Holy moly, a checklist is so important. I depend on a checklist for everything in my life, so why not a vendor event too? Okay, I'll talk about these really quick, and then if you have questions or whatever, then unmute yourself and just ask. Okay, first on there is a table. Most likely they're always going to have a table provided for you, but definitely ask about that. Tablecloths, racks, I like dream of the day when I have a big rack to put all the books on. I think that makes it look really nice, and you can get so many more books in by having some racks. Cubes or other bookshelf type structure, we talked about that. Enter to win, drawing slips, that's like do a big huge star and highlight that. Mini catalogs with your info stickered on the back. I honestly don't have a whole lot of mini catalogs. I do more bigger like the full catalogs. I know it's more expensive and I don't give them to everyone, but people always ask me if I have a full catalog. A calculator, which I just use my phone, but pens and clipboards. I don't usually do that, but those are really handy. A banner, a cash box, and cash. It took me forever to figure out how much cash I was going to take to my events. I don't know why that was so confusing to me, but you just don't ever know. Usually people don't even pay cash, but definitely have your calendar. If you have somebody that is even maybe interested, then it's awesome to already have those dates in front of you where you can book a party with them right there. I usually do kind of like the calendar that Nicole was showing us last night of how to make, like you could get this book for booking a party on this day. I usually print out one like that to make it look kind of neat, and then put something on the day that I have open. Okay, you could take booking incentive coupons. Definitely have your business cards, hostess packets. I haven't done this, but I think that's a really great idea. I have done where if you, it's not a packet, but if they sign up for a date right then with me, then I will go ahead and offer them like a book that they can choose from if they book it with me right there. Info on the business opportunity, including printed consultant agreements, receipt slips, order forms, sample books. I guess that just means inventory, which I guess, but stickers, bags, sign, charger, and extra paper. I always have extra paper because there'll be notes that you want to make about somebody, like, I don't know, just to remember whenever you're getting a hold of them later. So always have extra paper with you. Okay. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Okay, and then I definitely always, goals get you so much more motivated. I think it's important to have goals for pretty much everything. I mean, you should always have goals for your business, but then have goals for each party, have goals for each event. I mean, I have like life goals that, anyway, so always have goals for your events, and I think that makes you more motivated to get there with each event and with parties that you do. Okay, be professional. One thing that I really love about Usborne is that all of this is usually always done at home. So I can wear whatever I want. I can not have makeup on or my hair done. It doesn't matter because usually I'm sitting behind the computer and doing a party on Facebook, so it doesn't matter. But this is completely different. You are going to be face-to-face with people, and you just want to present yourself in a professional way. But going back to even doing Facebook parties, I think you can also act very unprofessional in the way you communicate with people. So just remember, I don't know, I think sometimes being behind a screen, people like get misunderstood a lot. So be very careful with how you say things, and sometimes customers are so dang sensitive and get so mad. So you just have to kind of, take the high road sometimes. But anyways, okay. So first of all is with dress. Of course, you don't have to wear like your Sunday best and be in slacks, but just look nice. Your table setup, I don't think that I like hit this one out of the park at all. My first event, I like had no idea how big the table was going to be. It was a lot smaller than what I had originally thought. And so I had so many books, but I was like so excited about showing everyone all these books. I feel like I just jam-packed my table, and I'm sure it looked like Usborne threw up on the table or something. But of course you want a lot of books for them to be able to look at, but make it look nice, and you can, do too much. So you can have extra if you have more room later, but your cell phone. Okay, this is a big one. I was at an event just last night, and it was just like I knew most of the people that were there, but one of the girls that was there for a different company was on her phone about 90% of the time, and you just don't look approachable. You don't look like you're interested in like talking to people. So don't be the person like sitting behind the booth with your head down talking on your phone the whole time. It seems really simple, but I do use my phone like for like when I swipe the card, it plugs into my phone, not my iPad. But anyway, so, and I already talked about communication. I think that I put go big. I always do my events like this is going to be like the most important event ever. Not really always, but I think if you plan for it to be big, like you plan to act like you're going to be on a stage in front of like 2,000 people, and you got to give it your best. Like your Usborne career depends on this event. No pressure. No, but I just mean that in the way of like be prepared and like know if you have all these books out on the table, then you kind of need to know stuff about them, where if people ask you an age range, just kind of have an idea. Or if there are books that are out of stock, I always take an out of stock list with me to my event. So if somebody asks me about a book, or they see it in the catalog, then I can tell them right there that it's out of stock, and I don't, try to order it for them and then have to go back and tell them it's out of stock. And just prepare yourself for success. I think everybody, you can tell there's people that you're kind of like, I don't know, they seem really approachable and like you really want to go talk to them. They seem like they're having a good time and they're excited and they're happy to be there. And so don't like even, like last night, this is just a little FYI because you guys care, I know, but this is just an example. I had, I'm full-time stay-at-home mom, so I had my 2 boys yesterday, and then I also watch a baby on Wednesday. Well, the mom was late, which that's fine. She got stuck at work. My boys were crazy because it was supper time. I'll act like that's why, but really they're just always crazy. They were crazy. I was running late. I hadn't eaten. I had to go get gas. Like, when things just like keep piling up, everything's like going wrong all the time. But you can't take that stuff with you. You just have to like, leave your drama at home. Save the drama for your mama. That's what I want to say. I wish I could call my mom and tell her. Okay, so that's it. Just be professional and be a good representation of UBAM. What's your focus? Do you guys love this little GIF? I think it's so funny every time I see it. You guys know what I'm talking about? I hope you know, because I would feel stupid if you didn't. My husband and I always this conversation about where do we want to go eat. Do you guys fight about that? Where do you guys want to eat supper? Thank you. Okay. It's like the only thing we ever argue about is where we're going to eat at. It's so silly. Okay. Anyway, so what's your focus? Nicole's the one that said somebody told her this, I think this was Nicole. And I think this is a really good idea. Go into your event knowing what your focus is going to be. Is your focus going to be to sell a bunch of books? Is it going to be to get hostesses for parties, or is it going to be to recruit people? Always know what your goal is. Mine has always been to get sales. That doesn't mean that's the best thing at all. I have no idea. But for me, that's just always what mine has been. I do, because I always focus on sales, but I always have something for people to fill out. I always strike up a conversation with people, first off asking if they've heard of Usborne Books before. Hey, how are you? Are you having fun? Have you ever heard of Usborne Books? Blah, blah, blah. You want to fill out this paper to be entered into our raffle to win a free Shine-a-Light book. And so that way you get all their information, and then on that paper, you're asking them if they're interested in doing a party or becoming a consultant. But honestly, I don't really care what the paper says. I'm still going to ask. I always call, and I just think phone call is like so far gone, but I love talking to people on the phone. I'm not good at like texting. But if you call them, then you can just kind of bring it up again. So my meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, so know what your focus is. Okay, book selection. See her nice racks? I think those are nice. Okay, book selection. Obviously try to get an idea of what kind of crowd that you'll have. So you're not always going to know, and most of the time it's probably going to be all over the place. But just get a general idea. I usually have a little bit of every age. I don't ever have as much for the older kids, but there's not usually as many people looking for older kids. Always set out interactive books to be demonstrated. I have a BusyBug book that I use that is always set out, and the reason I always have that one set out is because there's been like hundreds of kids that have used that book, and I am not going to use another brand new Busy book because you want them to play with it, but you know, that's just a little tip, like advice for me. Don't like put out a different Busy book because they're all going to be like torn up by the time you're done with the year. So, okay, always set out interactive books. I always have a Busy book out, and then I also have like some Wipe Clean cards. I even have a sample of like what I do with my Wipe Clean cards. People don't usually open the box and look in the Wipe Clean cards, so you can put them on like a ring, like punch a hole and put them on a ring and kind of set them out to show people this is what I use them for. This might not be true for everyone, but for me, by far, interactive and activity books have always sold better than any other book. Shine-a-Light books are like for sure the #1 seller at my booths, but and I push Nibbles like my Usborne career depends on me selling this Nibbles book and plush, and people just don't buy it. I don't know what the deal is. I even have a Nibbles plush, but it's just like activity books. They want sticker books, they want Busy books, Shine-a-Light books, but that's just my booth. Okay, transport. Really, this is just because I wanted to put a picture of my legs on the slideshow. But I do think it's helpful. I just happen to have this really big purple suitcase. How perfect is that? It's purple. And I haul all of my stuff in that right there. That's in that picture. I think a suitcase makes it so much easier because you're not having to haul your boxes around and stuff like that. They roll. The suitcase rolls. So, but recruit some muscle because I really did have to go to the chiropractor from lifting my suitcase one time. Okay. I think I'm going to start a new thing so we don't get cut off. Hold on just a second. Do I stop share? Okay, I want to make sure I do this right. Nicole, I pushed off recording first. Okay. Okay.
And then something will pop up in the back and just leave it there till later.
Okay, I got this. Okay, just a second. I'll post a new link.